Partnered by Times Influence.
Last week, we witnessed how the telecom giant Verizon is changing the technology landscape. And we also met the coding divas from the second edition of TechGig Gladiators.
Hello and welcome to TechGig Code Gladiators 2017 with me, Samriti Grover. This year, the contest promises to be bigger, better and tougher. And the key highlight of this year's contest is its theme rounds that is going to challenge the contestants to think out of the box. From IoT to bot challenge to data analytics and e-commerce, Code Gladiators is all set to celebrate coding with its themes supported by 10 different tech partners. So let's decode the first theme, that is e-commerce and retail tech test, which is supported by Shoppers Stop. Let's take a look.
10 theme rounds, more than 200 participants. A coding marathon that went on for 21 hours. Showcasing exceptional talent in front of experts from the technology industry. After a successful run last year with their multiple theme round, this year TechGig Code Gladiators took this challenge to an all-new level by hosting 10 mega theme rounds. Real problems that needed some real but out-of-the-box solutions. The 10 theme rounds this year were E-commerce and Retail Tech by Shoppers Stop, Big Data Analytics by Times Internet Limited, Data Science by ITC Infotech, Machine Learning by Invesco, Bot Challenge by AXA, IBM Watson by IBM, Android by GeoDigital Life, DevOps also by GeoDigital Life, IoT by Accenture, and Software Framework and Architecture by Amadeus Software India.
It was a very nice experience over here. There are so many people participating and different views on the same topic, on the same technology. People have so much to contribute.
We got to know what's going on latest in the different markets, and we had different themes. That was like getting to know different themes together. And it was a great experience.
Just didn't take a nap for five minutes. I'm just coding from previous 20 hours continuously, and it was really amazing experience. Sitting with so many people, all are coding, and enjoying that spirit is really amazing.
But before we unveil this year's ultimate coding champion, it's time to decrypt companies that came ahead and made these themes a grand success.
Taking a cue from this emerging trend, TechGig Code Gladiators brought together experts from the online and retail industry to brainstorm and think of solutions that could be the technology of the future. We get you the story of one such retail giant that has associated with the contest with their theme, e-commerce and retail tech test. Take a look.
Shopping at the click of a button. From latest fashion to upbeat trends. You name it and it's all there. This is the era of e-retail and it is gripping the entire nation.
70 to 80% of whatever I shop in a month is basically on the online shopping.
I used to be a fan of shopping, but then work got in the way and something I loved became something I hated. I would hate going out of the home on a weekend. But then thankfully for online shopping now I can sit at home or sit in my office and still shop.
And making online shopping an enriching experience for its customers is Shoppers Stop. Pioneering the omni-channel approach, Shoppers Stop is extensively focusing on its e-commerce business by providing a gamut of online experiences. Deeply rooted into technology, Shoppers Stop for the very first time entered the coding arena by partnering with TechGig Gladiators 2017. With the aim to enhance the online shopping experience for its customers, this retail giant threw a challenge to the top coders with its theme e-commerce and retail tech.
As a retailer, Shoppers Stop has always invested into technology to run the business better in terms of efficiency and offerings to the customer. However, in current age, it is important to provide online platform to our customers in terms of mobile apps and websites.
In an attempt to take the philosophy of coding to the next level, Shoppers Stop is all set to reinvent the retail space.
Well, I'm now joined by the man who's behind the brand Shoppers Stop. I'm joined by Mr. Govind Shrikande. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us on this show. You know, we were earlier talking in our episode about the significance of e-commerce and how it has really grown over the years. So, I would like to ask you, you know, in a dynamic country like ours, what is the significance of e-commerce? Do we really see it growing?
So, I think rather than talking only e-com, digital, if you look at it, is part of our entire world now. Mobile is our gateway to the whole world, and with mobile, tablets, television, you take all the components of digital. That's really now part of the time that we spend at home or on the road is very, very large. And that's where e-com comes into play. E-com is your access to stores while you're on the move. And globally, if you look at it, it's about 8% share of online in the entire retail world. India is still 1%, but we believe that digital impact on shopping is going to be bigger and bigger in the years to come. So although by 2020 online could be just about 60 billion, the impact of digital could be maybe 150 billion on the overall retail. So digital is going to be really big. E-com will continue to grow.
Is that also because of the kind of customers you're going to get via digital and the amount of money that they're going to spend on that medium?
So as we see right now, customers are spending a lot of their lives on the mobile, and the mobile is their access to shopping as well, apart from email, personal work, etc. And they are living in a what you call as multi-device world or multi-screen world, and that's where the habit of going online shopping will only increase.
If I had to ask you, what do the next 5 years look at Shoppers Stop?
I think one of the key elements that we are really looking at, apart from the disruption from digital, is that fundamentally every one of us, every customer is looking for achieving something in their lives, and that transformation in their lives can we aid that transformation. As a retailer, as somebody who makes brands available to them, as somebody who brings style and fashion available to them. So that is something that we are encapsulated in our objective for this year and for the coming years, bring back romance to retail. So that's the objective with which we are building everything. So while digital will be core for this transformation, fundamentally romance is the key to the heart of the customer. And if you want to reach their heart, you need to put everything together in bringing back romance to retail. That's what we are working on.
So, you know, when we talk about offline versus online, or now I think there is no versus, it's
Correct.
offline and online. Whereas the online space is concerned, you know, a lot of players have adopted the discounting game, if you would
Correct.
obviously
Correct.
know that.
Correct.
Will that actually go in the long run? I mean, will it be beneficial in the long run? Can they sustain themselves like that?
So as of now, from whatever we see, clearly for generating a $3 billion US turnover, they are spending $4 billion. Now that's not a business model at all, and I think this is a model to acquire customers in the short term and start making money in the long term by having a bigger basket size, more repeats, etc. But the current model just cannot hold for a long term, because at some point your investors are going to get finicky, they are going to get upset as to when is the money going to come back at all, or will it never come back. So I believe the current model will have to change. The model will have to be about assortment, the model will have to be about convenience, the model will have to be about service, which is what physical retail is also all about, and that's when the model will become profitable and sustainable in the long term.
So what are the core challenges then that you are right now facing and in the retail space?
So in the retail space, if you look at it, most of us who are retailers or have been into retailing for a long period of time, think ourselves first as merchants, and we think about technology as an enabler. But what's happened is there is a new generation of retailers who have come into play, who are first technologists, and then they have started doing retailing. So technology companies driving retail is what is really disrupting retail fundamentally. And if the current legacy retailers don't learn about digital ways, don't learn about the new online methodology, they will be like fossil or they will be like a dinosaur. So fundamentally it's our duty to learn about digital, it's our job now to scale up and face this disruption by thinking of what disruption we can create for online players rather than the reverse way.
So, you know, obviously Shoppers Stop more than a year back decided to venture out into the omni retail channel.
Correct, correct.
I want to know the idea behind that move, obviously. Sure. And is that one of the reasons also you wanted to associate with, you know, a contest like TechGig, which is at the helm of technology and trying to find the best coding talent in the country?
I think absolutely right that if the customers are moving online, we need to be there, and that's why our move towards omni-channel. And we have seen that the best of the retailers in the world, the best of the department stores in the world are already omni-channel, and that's the path that we have taken. Whether it's Nordstrom, Macy's, John Lewis, that's the path that they have taken successfully, and we believe we will also be able to execute it successfully in India. And by second half of this year, we'll also be omni-channel. As far as TechGig is concerned, we believe that it's the first stop for a lot of people to think about tech. It's the first stop to think about new innovations and disruptions, and we felt that it's the right time for us to really join TechGig to try and look at what are the new ways of thinking about technology, new ways of bringing digital into the store, and new ways of pushing, I would say, entrepreneurs to think about retail technology more in depth, and that's why we are with TechGig.
So what are your expectations from a platform like TechGig? What are you kind of looking out?
So new ideas for sure, connecting with new entrepreneurs for sure, learning more and more about how do we really bring practical digital solutions into the store. So for example, we are working right now in a big way on personal shoppers. So for a personal shopper, how do I know their history? How do I help them in shopping better? How do I help them to shop more? We are looking for those solutions.
My last question to you, any message that you would like to give to, you know, thousands of coders who are actually going to come to the event and participate and maybe want to actually bag a job with Shoppers Stop at some point of time?
Sure. So if you have some ideas about disrupting online or physical retail, Shoppers Stop is the place to really come to and talk to us about those ideas, and we'll bring that into life.
All right. Thank you so much, sir, for talking to us.
Thank you.
On the other side, we get you more on the theme of Shoppers Stop at this year's TechGig Code Gladiators, e-commerce and retail tech. Stay tuned.